Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome and thank you so much for joining me. It's Wednesday, so we're working on our July daily journal, and we're almost out of June, which means pretty soon we have to start working on the pages. This is a collaboration with Making Memories with Melodi, so be sure to check out her video today too. This is a quick flip through for myself. This is a method that I do to make a video of the pages before I take things apart. So that's what I'm doing. You might see some new pages in there. I added my favorite tea box and a few other things because I've been drinking a lot of tea, so it seemed fitting. So when you make your video of your pages, you can just go through quickly because you can always slow it down. It's just a nice way to remember how you had things in case you want them in the same order. Then the reason I did that is I'm going to pull out all the pages that are just too plain, I think, for me, and do some mixed media on them, almost like you would do in an art journal, just a speck of a layer, nothing major. And I'm using different things that I grabbed and set out on the counter. That's the Dina Wakley Gloss Spray. It's a little purple. It is Night, and Navy is my favorite color of hers. No, not Navy, Lapis. So I had some Dilutions spray, and then that tiny bottle I think has Dilutions that's a little watered down. Just different things out of my stash. So again, I'm going in. These are tea-dyed papers that I did, and I like them, but I want a little more interest in this journal. And this week, I didn't make a lot of progress. In fact, I better get started today to be ready for July. And I'm just going to let the video play, and you can see that I add different types of things to pages, but I'm going to tell you what else I have planned. In my December daily, I cut out with dies and gold mirror paper, I cut out the numbers and glued them onto the pages. And I put them in the upper left, but moved them around just enough so that it didn't make the book oddly fat right there in the corner. They didn't line up, right? I'm not sure in this book how I'm going to do it, because if I glue the numbers down or use stickers or, a fancy marker or whatever in advance, I might have a day where the size of the page or the texture of it doesn't really fit what I want to do for that day. Like, what if I get to the day with the beautiful silver netting and I want to put a big picture on that, and then it would cover it up. So I don't want to do that. So what I was thinking was I might prep stickers or die cut numbers and have them in an envelope and then attach them as I go through. Because then if I wanted, I'd still keep my pages in order, of course, but I could skip, or I could have one page that was just an accent or just a mixed media art journaling kind of page. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a numbered date in July. And that's when we say July daily or December daily, it's a book where you journal every day in it, and typically you would number the pages and have them marked out. Here I'm just putting some white gesso on the back of a gel print that Melodi put in the kit. Melodi on her website, melodimade.com, has kits called Fancy Flows, and she sent me a Fancy Flow for July daily. If you want to check out her website, she has amazing kits on there. She might still have some July ones left, and she has other themes too. Here, I still had some gesso on the mat, so I'm just using the white gesso with a stencil. And when I do that, I don't care if my stencil looks exactly like the stencil. If you can sort of tell they're stars, I'm fine with it. And here I'm just doing a little cleanup, getting different stuff and putting it on there. And I'm using cheapo printer paper as my mop-up pages because later I'll use those in something else. They'll have fun colors, textures, and stamping on them. And this paper I love. The one side of it is all blue, and then the other side is white and gold. And this, again, was from the kit that Melodi sent me. And when I'm making this, I'm thinking about the fact that it's going into a signature in a book. And a signature is a group of pieces of paper that you fold in half and then stitch in. So in a really fat book like this, I'm probably going to have 3 signatures. And it just means the set of papers that you folded, I think. So in this book, you're not going to see both sides of this piece of paper at the same time. So you'll notice that I just decorate one and leave the other one the way it is. most of your pages, you don't see the whole thing. So think of it like, it's not like when you do a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout and they're both going to be together in page protectors. You're going to see half here and half somewhere else in the book for, 95% of the pages in the book. Maybe it's 99. Then I went to the sewing machine and put some stitching on that page, which is handy because the adhesive that I put on there holds the thread, so I can lay it out. And I wanted it junky, so I made those threads, I left them a little long, and I made them stick out the sides. And then, like you, I couldn't see well enough to tell where the middle of that page was, so I was having troubles. But I really like how this turned out. The red and the blue. If you watch my channel, you know I love blue. My favorite colors in order are blue, purple, my third favorite is red. So when you put red and blue together, I'm just happy as can be. Here, I wanted a little more on this page, and I'm just grabbing random things from my craft room. I have some navy ink, which is permanent, so if I get it wet later or change my mind, I'm fine. The stamp I used at first was more Twinkle Twinkle Little Star than Night Stars or Star Spangled Banner, so I just grabbed a different star stamp. If you watch my channel, you know I have a lot of stars. Then this is my atlas page, and I mentioned before, one side of it was about the US and the other side was about South America, and it just didn't fit with the theme. Also, I don't really like the pink and the yellow and the green, so the colors and the location didn't really work. I decided not to white out the whole page. I just pushed the details of those locations into the background by smearing some gesso over them, and I'm just using a hotel room key. Cheap, easy. You could use an old gift card, whatever you had. I was a little sad to cover up Jamaica. Warm, happy places, I thought, oh. Then I left the word America, but covered up the South. This is a junk mail envelope. I sealed it so that I'm going to make a pocket later. And then I covered up the words, partly because I still had wet gesso on the board. And again, I have red paint in my brush. It's junky, but it's also art journaling, mixed media, whatever. Sometimes you just get in the mood and you want to add some stuff in there. I have a few more pages that I just want to grab and add to, and I'm using that same stamp. You could spend all day, right? This would be a super fun. You could make a junk journal, and if you're a rubber stamper, your goal could be to use half the stamps in your room or to find all the stamps that you don't think you use, and you could put different motifs on every page. Here I'm just drizzling some Distress Oxide spray down the page. And the same idea. I haven't used it in a while. I thought it would be fun. There aren't any rules. Just have a great time. Oh, another star. There are no shortage of stars. My friend asked me to borrow a heart stamp in a certain size the other day. I was no help to her, but I did offer her stars. Okay, and that's that same spray. Oh, a little purple, but I can live with it. Then I started cleaning up because I didn't clean up my room first. And I'm blessed with a wonderful room, but it was such a mess. There was nowhere to dry any more things. It's like when you're gel printing and you're having a great time, but you run out of space. So I had to actually tidy a little bit as I went. And I'm just having a great time smearing things around and trying different techniques with the stencils and getting things on the page that will probably add inspiration for me later. If you want to join us and do a July daily, get a book of some kind, whatever you want, take a marker, number the pages, and join us in writing about what you do each day in July as you're coming out of COVID. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.